Welcome to the Writer Reads Flash Fiction, episode 28. If you're enjoying this series, please hit like. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe. And today we're going to shift out of zombies and back into science fiction. We're going to head over to the planet of Calemkaspia. Today's story is called The Spur-Winged Traders of Calemkaspia. The spur-winged lionbirds of Calemkaspia were burrowers and flyers. They hunted for swift-running tenkana and slow-flying grufliegers, collecting the golden tusks from one and the shining feathers from the other, eating the sweet flesh of both. This was not why they were hunted. Calemkaspia was a world rich in minerals, and the lionbirds loved the shiny metal as much as any other life form. They used it for nesting material and defended it with blood and savage counter-raids. The settlers soon learnt to leave the lionbirds alone, digging up their own gold and dwelling amongst the trees of the Lavenia forest, a habit which made them harder for the lionbirds to attack. In the year of fire and honey, the settlers learnt how to get the lionbirds to trade. Vane and his sister Shaun showed them the way. The children were gathering the emerald-coloured greens called yellesk. They collected the opalesque nodes growing on the yellesk roots, laid the leaves in water and set aside the seed pods. One day the settlers hoped to discover how to grow the scattered plants, but that day was yet to come. They had, at least, learnt how to harvest the honey produced by the olive-crowned bee, taking some for trade and earning the hive's gratitude by defending the hives from scarian bugs. It was a symbiotic relationship formed beneath the Lavenia's canopies, but what was prized for trade made dull eating when other foods became scarce. The children sat down to a reluctant lunch of honey sandwiches, setting aside their day's take of yellesk to quiet their grumbling stomachs. The smell of olive-crowned honey perfumed the air, carried aloft on a forest breeze, carried to a soaring lionbird, which quickly descended. It approached the children, ignoring their fear as it gave a soft, inquiring chirp. The children thought their lives were over, for lionbirds took the young of all creatures, not just the tenkana and the gruflieger. Determined not to let the bird eat his sister, the boy threw one of his honey sandwiches towards it. A foolish gesture, since lionbirds are carnivores. But this one chirped once, then took the sandwich, holding it in one great claw as it tore small pieces off it and devoured them slowly. When the sandwich was gone, the creature licked the crumbs from its beak and cocked its head, taking a good long look at the lunchbox sitting at the children's feet. It chirped again, but the boy shoved his sister behind him and kicked the lunchbox back. The lionbird stopped, chirped, and waited, but the boy kept edging back toward the trees. He almost collapsed with relief when the lionbird leapt upwards to the hole in the canopy's edge and vanished into the sky. The little girl, her eyes as wide as saucers and face as pale as milk, seized her brother's hand. "We should go," she whispered. But the boy's gaze fell on the abandoned yellesk harvest and he shook his head. "We should go," the girl repeated, but she only began to cry when the lionbird descended, landing not more than a metre from her brother. Vane straightened slowly, sliding the straps of the yellesk boxes over his head so they rested across his chest. He stooped to pick up the lunchbox, holding it ready to throw. "What do you want?" he snapped, looking up at the towering bird. If he was afraid of its lion-like paw or the sharp gold-edged blades protruding from its wing joints, Vane did not show it. He wanted to tell his little sister to run and hide, but he could not. The bird was too close. To his surprise, the lion bird did not attack, merely dipped its head and nudged the lunchbox with its beak before stepping back one pace and regurgitating a large round ball at his feet. When it had wiped its beak clean, it nudged the lunchbox once more and then pushed the slime-covered ball toward him. Vane opened the lunchbox lid and set it at the lionbird's feet, then used his own feet to nudge the ball back toward his sister. As it rolled, the spittle wore away, and the ball showed sparks of reflected sunshine. Gold gleamed through the layer of lionbird spit. Vane stepped away from where the great creature had settled to the grass and was now nibbling at another sandwich. "Can we go now?" Sienna asked, touching her brother's arm. Vane stooped to lift the ball from the ground, but could not. It weighed too much. "Yes," he said, and gave the ball a nudge. Behind them, the lion bird made a happy chirring sound and took another sandwich from the box. If you've enjoyed the story, please hit like. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe, and I'll check you later.